Clashers. Today I want to talk quite a bit about wall breaker AI. There's another video on here about funneling that goes into the other aspects of beginning your attack, ground attack. But wall breakers, myself have done it many times. I've seen it countless times that wall breakers can lose you an entire raid within the first 15 seconds. The biggest threat to wall breakers is mortar rounds. The second would be wizard towers. Both of those are splash damage buildings. So that's why they're the biggest threat. I don't see a lot of mistakes of people dropping wall breakers as the first unit down, which is good. That's definitely not what you want to do. So this raid gets started here. So the golems come down, and one, they trigger bombs. A lot of people put bombs on the outside. I don't recommend that, and this is the major reason why. Golems have a ton of health, so bombs are going to basically chip away like 2% of their health or whatever. And they're going to draw the attention. One of the CC troops here, they're going to draw their attention. The Barbarian King, he's paying attention to them. This cannon, this archer tower, this cannon, this archer tower. I think the golem is a little bit out of range of the wizard tower here. That's good if you're trying to create your funnel in a specific place. You don't want to drop your wall breakers right on top of the golem if it's being hit by a wizard tower. I believe this mortar is also locked onto the golem. So the thing about mortars is you have 5 seconds in between each mortar shot. So the poison spell's coming down to get rid of these CC troops. And then here come the wall breakers in after the threats have started to dwindle down. So that's just a quick showing of the order of events whenever you start your raid for creating the funnel. You definitely don't want to drop them first. But let's look at mortars for a second. It says damage per second is 11. That sounds terrible. It sounds like it does basically no damage. That's why I hate the phrase damage per second in a game like this. If you could click on a button to expand that to show you how many attacks per second, how much damage each attack does, and then also damage per second, that would be really useful. But it doesn't show that. It just tells you damage per second. So you have 11 damage per second. Mortars attack once every 5 seconds. So that means that a level 7 mortar is going to do 55 damage with each impact. So we'll come over here and look at level 5 wall breakers, which is max for Town Hall 9. They have 42 hit points. So a mortar level 7 and even a mortar level 6, which is going to do 9 DPS or 45 damage per impact, that's going to kill the wall breakers in one hit. So as you see, they walk up to the wall, and there's about a 1 second delay while they drop their bomb before it explodes. So in that time, if they get hit with a mortar shell, they're going to be taken out fairly quickly. Now, this person is probably thinking, like, what the hell is this guy doing? He has no idea how to play Clash of Clans. I brought with me 55 wall breakers because I just wanted to demonstrate for a second how the AI of a wall breaker works. For a long time, I was really frustrated because I felt like I had no idea where my wall breakers were going to go. If I dropped a wall breaker here, wanting to get this corner wall taken out, it seemed like no matter where I dropped it, it would go here, but then all of a sudden, one tile difference, and it would run all the way up here. So I thought that wall breakers targeted the actual closest wall because that made sense. Nobody had told me anything different. But because of the need for the AI in them, they actually target structures behind an enclosed wall. So when you drop the wall breaker, it takes a split second to calculate can I get to this building? And if it can reach a building, then it ignores it and finds the next closest building that has the condition of I can't walk to this building. So that's why sometimes, like, let's say this section of wall was gone and this section of wall was gone, and you just have an L-shaped corner with holes in it. That's why if you still drop a wall breaker here, it may still come at this corner instead of running all the way down and around. They set a maximum limit, a maximum distance for it to detect, if it can run to the building. But that's why a lot of times it's kind of iffy, and one tile difference of where you drop it can mean the difference of it running way down here or running over here where you want it to. And so it's really important to be aware of that in the cases that there's a wizard tower, if the range is just on the outside of the wall that can hit the golem that's standing there, or if the mortar towers are firing in the range of the golem, it's important to make sure your wall breakers go where you want them to. And like I said, the mortar has 5 seconds in between shots, so wall breakers take about, I'd say 1.5 seconds to run, from a normal drop distance to the wall, maybe just 1 second. But you have a long delay then for it to set its bomb and blow it up. So what I like to do is right before the mortar impact hits, if you have your golem here beating on the wall and your mortar comes up in the air, when it's about right here, right before it's going to impact, that's when I'll drop my wall breakers so that the impact hits and they have enough time in that 5 seconds to run up and explode without getting hit. So I'll go ahead and play this. I dropped a wall breaker here, and it targeted this wall because the nearest building that met that condition was this air sweeper. And I dropped one here that targeted the cannon, so this was the closest wall. Dropping one here targeted this gold elixir, so it came to this wall. And it works the way around. So I dropped some more right here. Once this wall was cleared out, dropping them here did allow them to come in and target this next wall section. There was no buildings within the range that, I don't know the exact tile range, but it decided that it could get to this cannon, it could get to this gold mine, it could get to this archer tower, so it zoned in on the mortar that was behind the next closest enclosed wall. And one thing I had just randomly wondered a long time ago was, once I learned that the AI of wall breakers target structures in the wall rather than the wall itself, I was thinking, you could drop a jump spell and the wall breaker would jump over the wall because it can path to it, and then it would target the wall behind it. Maybe they did that just for balancing reasons, as far as being able to just wall breaker the entire base, and effectively negate the fact that the enemy has walls. Whatever the case is, if you drop a jump spell, as you see, none of these targeted an inner wall. They still target this structure as being the closest structure in an enclosed wall. Even after this part was broken, they still targeted this section of wall. So there's not really any tricks you can do with jump spells to get around the wall breaker AI. But it is interesting sometimes, for instance, dropping the wall breakers here, somehow it calculates the distance that it's quicker to come break this wall than to, say, come into this wall or try to get this wall. So sometimes late in the raid, if you have a lot of open walls, it's not going to help you out much if you have wall breakers left. So it's probably a good idea to go ahead and use them at the early in the raid whenever there's not a lot of walls broken, so that you can kind of zone in on the very specific section of wall that you are trying to hit. But that's pretty much it. Just be very careful. Pay attention to those mortar rounds when you're dropping the wall breakers, or else your raid can be over very quickly if you don't take care of your wall breakers. Treat them nice. Alright guys, that's all I got for today. Happy clashing.